In a separate operation, a reconnaissance drone belonging to Ukrainian forces identified 3 Russian combatants sheltering inside a residential garage. After their presence was verified, the aircraft was fitted with an explosive device and guided toward the structure. The strike leveled the building and had fatal consequences for those inside. Moments later, Ukrainian units identified another enemy shelter in a basement after a mistake by one of the soldiers exposed its location. A drone was directed into the narrow space, where it detonated, ending the resistance inside. In a separate operation, another Russian combatant was found attempting to hide inside a residential building, believing he would remain unnoticed. The footage shows special units of the Ukrainian security service advancing during a tactical operation. While moving in their vehicle, an enemy FPV drone rapidly approached their position, creating an immediate risk. The troops responded swiftly. They halted the vehicle, dismounted, and delivered controlled small arms fire. The drone was hit and destroyed mid-flight, preventing the impact. Once the area was secured, the soldiers returned to their vehicle and continued their mission without further delay. In an active combat zone, aerial surveillance identified an enemy transport vehicle in motion. An FPV drone was launched on an interception course, approaching head-on and forcing the driver into desperate maneuvers. The strike hit with precision, causing a loss of control and the vehicle's subsequent crash. One occupant was thrown from the vehicle during the collision. The recorded footage shows the entire sequence, from the initial detection of the target to the final impact and the scattered remains of the transport. The Signum drone unit of the Ukrainian armed forces tracked an enemy vehicle identified as a UAZ 39094 transport truck carrying both personnel and fuel. Shortly after, a Russian Banka minibus was detected at a checkpoint and remained stationary. The drone strike completely destroyed it. In the Kursk region, a group of Russian soldiers was detected entering an abandoned residence. After their location was confirmed, units of Ukraine's 54th Mechanized Brigade executed a targeted strike on the position. The structure was reduced to rubble, eliminating the hostile presence that had taken shelter inside. Finally, a Kama truck was located hidden within a dense pine forest. Nearby, an improvised hammock suggested that a soldier was resting. The drone executed a precise strike, fully neutralizing the threat. A Russian armored personnel carrier, already damaged from earlier engagements, was identified as a target by Ukrainian forces. An FPV drone was directed into the vehicle, leading to its total destruction. Amid the ensuing chaos, the carrier began firing erratically, likely due to a mistake made by one of its crew members. After several uncontrolled bursts, the firing stopped, leaving both the vehicle and its crew neutralized. In the Lyman region, a group of Russian soldiers traveling in a UAZ vehicle was struck by an FPV drone. Although they attempted to take cover by dismounting just moments before impact, they were unable to fully escape the attack. A Russian military transport carrying newly deployed troops to the front was detected by a fiber-optic drone. The soldiers inside did not notice the drone's presence until the threat became imminent. In Crimea, under Russian occupation, Ukraine's drone unit carried out strikes that destroyed 2 aircraft and 26 Russian planes, while also targeting a ground radar station and an MR-10 coastal radar. These actions caused a significant disruption to Russian military communication systems in the region, In the Siv region, Ukraine's 45th Artillery Brigade detected several Russian unmanned ground vehicles that had been positioned to ambush Ukrainian forces. Once their locations were confirmed, FPV drones carried out targeted strikes that fully eliminated the threat. Ukrainian forces struck a tower used as shelter by Russian soldiers. A drone-deployed bomb completely destroyed the structure. Along the front lines, many Russian combatants continue seeking cover in abandoned buildings, placing themselves in extremely vulnerable positions. The next target, a fast-moving Niva vehicle, attempted to flee the area, but was intercepted before it could escape. The Ukrainian Air Force Command identified a building housing 50 Russian soldiers. Once their presence inside was confirmed, a 3,000 kilogram bomb was deployed, leveling the structure and resulting in the deaths of all personnel inside. Footage recorded by Russian soldiers depicts an encounter with Ukrainian drones on the front lines. As a troop group advanced, a drone carried out an unexpected strike. The soldiers, overwhelmed by panic, abandoned their motorcycles and scattered into open terrain. Despite this, the drones continued the pursuit. The sequence highlights the harsh conditions Russian forces face, with persistent drone pressure gradually eroding their operational capability. A Ukrainian FPV drone was deployed after detecting a Russian soldier. Upon noticing the drone approaching, the soldier attempted to flee. The operator carefully tracked the target, maneuvering to maintain focus while waiting for the right moment to strike. The Russian infantryman sought cover behind a small tree, making rapid, erratic movements as he grew exhausted. The drone maintained surveillance, adjusting its angle and position to keep the target in view. Eventually, the soldier was forced to crawl among the branches. The operator continued executing precise maneuvers, catching the soldier off guard. Finally, the drone carried out an accurate strike, resulting in a powerful detonation that neutralized the Russian soldier. In recent months, Ukrainian forces have achieved limited but steady advances along the front line. These movements, though strategic, have come at a high human and material cost. The offensives unfold amid devastated landscapes, where war redraws, every border with fire and debris. Each step forward, however small, reflects the hardship and sacrifice of a conflict that seems to have no end.